worked under Mr. V.S. Rao sir in Tata Steel for 19 years. Then since 2001, I am doing management consultancy. Maximum non-mining and maybe 20% is mining consultancy and 80% management consultancy. So being a mining engineer, I observed that we as mining engineers have beautiful plans for sustainable mining. But the strategies which we plan for sustainability of the mining or sustainability of the industry's growth, sustainable growth, the strategy's execution is weak. See, even across the world, it was observed that many of the organizations who have beautiful strategies are confined to the boardroom. Most of the times, the strategy is of very big, voluminous book or maybe hundreds of pages like that, and it is confined to boardrooms. But the strategy deployed to down the level is weak. See, the workers or the down level supervisors are not aware of the strategy of the organization. For successful implementation of strategy, the organization need to use some management philosophies, management tools and techniques which will help us in deploying the strategies. So I thought, as we are discussing about this strategy management, and I should present this paper in this seminar, which will be helpful for the mining industry. So the topic is Balanced Scorecard as a strategic management tool for Indian mining industry's sustainable growth. Sustainable growth. That is the idea. These are the areas where, in fact, we are providing consultancy in the different areas of balanced scorecard, business excellence model, total quality management, and different systems which will help the industry for improving their performance and journey towards business excellence. We have provided consultancy to different organizations. A list is there. Maximum we have done for NTPC, more than 10-12 power plants we have done consultancy. Different industries, manufacturing, and also yesterday, in fact, I was with the sugar industry. So though I have worked in mines for 19 years, the management philosophy which I learned in Tata Steel is helping me to be in management consultancy. For any organization's sustainability, see, earlier organizations used to think that if we are the best in India, the future is guaranteed. So now after liberalization, we, the Indian industry, are open to the global companies. So you have to be globally competitive. No more India's best can survive because your market is open to world-class companies. So you have to continuously upgrade and improve your performance when compared to the world-class companies. Your performance should be comparable to the world-class companies. For that, continual improvement is essential. Why? Because if you do not, today's excellent organization will become tomorrow's mediocre company if it does not improve. So for improving, we need to have measurement in place. Why? Because generally, as a rule, we get what we measure. Why? Because if you do not measure, we cannot record it. If we cannot record it, any performance, we cannot monitor it. If you cannot monitor, you cannot control it. Unless until we control the processes or performance, we cannot improve it. That's why basically, if at all we want to improve anything and everything, we need to measure. And as total quality management persons, we say that anything and everything is measurable. Even when I was in Tata Steel, our doctors had taken a project for reducing the post-operative pain. We asked the doctor, how are you going to measure the pain, sir? So they came out with a visual analog scale and started measuring it. That's why anything and everything is measurable. And if you want to improve, you have to start measuring. In the same way, if at all you want to improve your strategy deployment and get the better results, we need to measure our strategy deployment process. So measuring, sometimes we find that many organizations start measuring everything and anything and everything. Traditional organizations, old organizations have a lot of measurement in place, lot of data is in place. but it is not properly utilized, or whether it is really the required thing or not. We have to focus on the few measures which are critical for the organizational strategy. Many times we start measuring how many hours equipment operated, what is the availability, what is the utilization. Much more than what is important is what is the results we need to achieve. So instead of measuring the quantum of work done by him, we start measuring how many hours he has worked or like that. So sometimes the measurement is so contradicting with each other's departmental performance, so it contradicts. One department must be doing excellent, but in fact if you ask his internal customer, he may say that he could not perform because that department has not done well. So we find in organizations there are pockets of excellence, pockets of excellence. Every organization has departments, hierarchy levels, top management, middle management, lower management, HR department, administration department, operation department, maintenance department. In the process you find that there are excellence islands, but overall the organization is not excellent. I tell one story generally which I captured from Mr. Vajpayee's speech long back. See, people were traveling in a bus. The bus got stuck up on the way. So the driver says, please, all of you get down and push the bus. Sincerely, 50 passengers got down and pushed the bus. Bus did not move. Then he says, driver comes down and says, "Arey yaar, 50 आदमी ठेल रहा हो, गाड़ी क्यों हिल रहा है?" Everyone says, we have done our job. How? Individually. Number one, sincerely he pushes the bus. मेरा काम हो गया. दूसरा, number two, number three, number four. Like that, individually they have put their sincerely full effort. But what is the resultant? Then driver says, all of you together you have to push the bus so that bus moves. Then all sincerely started pushing the bus. Still the bus did not move. What happened? From all the four corners they are pushing the bus. From front, left, right, back, all sides, resultant force is 0. Then driver says, whether you are in left or right, whether you are in front or back, see that the bus moves or your resultant force leads to bus towards the front. So whether you are in production department or whether you are in service department, in whichever department you are there, you see that your organization moves towards or your activity contributes towards the vision of the organization. That is what required. That's why the measurement has to be balanced in different perspectives which we are going to see. And sometimes we start measuring the wrong thing and you will get it. Sometimes we wish हो जाए, ऊपर वाला तदास्तु बोल देता है. So that's why you should not start measuring a wrong things which you may get. So what is right thing? This concept, balance scorecard concept, is going to guide us, help us in knowing what is right, what is important for the organization based on today's strategy. Based on today's strategy. What was important last year may not be important this year. So these are some surveys. When inventors, Dr. Kaplan and Norton, invented the balance score concept, they had done a survey that 95% of the typical workforce does not know what organization is planning. What is the strategy of the organization? So there are many statistical information across the world. This is not only in India, it is applicable to across the world. The many organizations have beautiful strategy, but it could not be deployed properly. They could not get the fruits of their strategy. See, the balance scorecard concept helps in formulating strategy and communicating and deploying it. It helps in translating the vision and mission of the organization into operational and measurement language. Many times we find that many organizations have a beautiful vision statements, beautiful mission statement and beautiful strategic statements also, but they are not translated into operational and measurement language. If you tell this something like we want to increase market share, people may start think that we have to enter into new market. Some people may think that we have to produce new products. Some people may think that we have to increase the sales in the same customers. There may be different opinions, and if they are left to work their own way, they will be resultant force will be 0. So this concept is going to help the organizations in translating their vision and mission into operational and measurement language. See, we as managers are trying to do the things right. Trying to do the things right. If my performance is between two levels, upper level upper limit and lower limit. As long as my process is within these two limits, I am happy. Whether it is a productivity, whether it is a cost, whether it is a fuel consumption, anything. As long as my performance is between these two upper and lower limits, I am happy. So I am trying to do the things right. The moment there is a sporadic deviation, I will try to do firefight and bring the process into normalcy. But we are not knowing, or we are not focusing, or we do not have time to think whether am I focusing on the right thing? Am I focusing on the right thing? Whether it is really important for the organization or not. Okay, this was important last year, but is it important this year? So the strategy changes depending upon the business environment and the organizational plans. Last year we wanted to increase the number of customers. Still, this year also if I go on increasing number of customers, what is the use? Unless until my total turnover or turnover per customer increases. So the strategy changes. You start monitoring the turnover per customer, something like that. So it helps improving communicating the strategy to the down the line. Organization measurement system is strongly affects the behavior of the people both inside and outside. See, what is your departmental KPI, key performance indicator, a key performance measure, or different terminology we may be using. So the moment you put this is your target, person will be starts thinking towards that. If you say that you have to increase powder factor, he will start focusing on the powder factor increasing only. He will start measuring. If you say that no, I want to reduce number of boulders, he will start focusing on that. So the measurement changes the thinking process of the people. If companies are to survive and prosper in information age competition, they must use measurement and management systems derived from their strategies. Don't go on measuring the same thing every year. What is your strategy this year? So start measuring based on your strategy. This concept was published in 91 by Dr. Kaplan and Norton in Harvard, and Harvard commented that this is one of the best management tool in last 75 years. And Tata Steel adopted this concept in 96. Tata Steel was first to adopt this concept in India. After that, other Tata Group companies adopted, and some more companies have started adopting this concept.